Hi guys, it's Celestial here with Bananalisk, and we'll be commentating on the first quarter final of the South African clan tournament for StarCraft 2. Bananalisk, your take?
Yeah, thanks man, good to be here. I'm just looking at this map, ESL Shattered Temple. I'm not familiar with it. Do you know what the difference is with the ESL version? Do they force a cross spawn or something like that?
Mostly they force a cross spawn, but they do not allow you to spawn, for instance, in the 6 o'clock position and the 3 o'clock position. The reason for that being that the rush distance is really short, so that distance on ground can be covered fairly well. As far as I know, for some of the ESL maps, some of the minerals that are spawning are also less. So pretty much what happens is you're going to be looking at either a lateral spawn or a diagonal spawn.
Okay, so that's an interesting decision though, to alter the minerals and stuff like that.
Yes, it forces aggressive expansion tactics as well.
Yeah, just quite interesting then to kind of change the fundamentals of the map like that as well. Usually you just see them kind of forcing positions and stuff like that, and they have cross positions.
They have spawned cross positions indeed. Something important to note, this map is sort of a clone of Last Temple, except for the Zelnaga Temple tower in the center. On Shattered Temple, there's only one Zelnaga tower, and on Last Temple, obviously, there are two.
Yeah, it's kind of like they kind of took Last Temple and decided, okay, Zergs really hate this map, what can we do to help them out? So
they just made
clips that were really popular with the tank dropping, which really was quite a severe imbalance for Zergs. So it was a good idea to take them out. They've also opened up the choke at the natural a bit. It used to be a lot narrower, very difficult for early aggression, very easy to wall off and stuff like that. So they've opened up the natural quite a lot, and also the center is quite a lot more wide open than it used to be. There used to be a lot more columns and cliffs and stuff in the way, so it's quite a big, nice open center.
Yeah, it's really favors Zerg combat now. I also remember that White Rider used to abuse, or let's just say use, the cliffs on Lost Temple for dropping High Templars on there and taking out Terran and Zerg armies in a flash. So both these players have sent out their scouts and they're about to destroy the bases. Sorry about that. Okay.
Sorry, it was just an interference. My computer's stream was up, so I had to mute that. And we see a pretty fairly standard opening so far. We've got it looks like a 12 or 13 barracks from Warlord, and Pandatank, much the same. Pretty standard time engagement.
Looking at the income tab, Warlord is a bit behind, actually by about almost 200, no, only 100 minerals per minute now. And he's got a little bit of a disadvantage where harvesters are concerned, although this orbital command coming up might make up for that. Yeah,
we see actually Warlord is actually, 3 SCVs behind, which is kind of surprising. He's actually sticking a barracks kind of far out there. I'm not sure if he's trying to hide that away from any possible scouts. He should have got a nice start with this Marine here. So, see him going 2 barracks, no factory, no gas at all, which is quite interesting for WarlordZim. He's actually got no gas at all, so there's going to be no tech for quite some time. We could be seeing quite an early pure Marine push coming out from him.
I think, he's got a refinery going up here in the Protoss base, and the probe snuffed it out. The important thing here is that, let's just see if Warlord did see that. Yes, he did see the buildings for the Protoss base going up on the ramp. So what he might be doing is that you just got some early Marines out and want to put some pressure on those buildings on the ramp, because building a wall against Terran is not that effective as it is against other races.
Yeah, definitely. Terran Tier 1 units are all ranged. In fact, actually, all of Terran's units are ranged.
All of Terran's units are ranged, yes. Indeed.
So we actually see 2 more barracks going down for Terran, so he's going for a big 4 racks Marine push here, and I wonder if no, he's not. I thought he might be doing the 6 rack push that we recently saw from TLO, actually, popularizing that, but he is banking 600 minerals at the moment, building up some supply. So we're going to see a big wave of Marines coming in now. I'm not sure about this in cross position. It would have been a bit better if he was maybe a bit of a closer spawn, but he could certainly catch his opponent off guard, and a 5th barracks going down, so he's really committing to this.
Yeah, Lisk, those barracks is going up in the back of his base might be, it's sort of a two-pronged approach. These Marines are pushing out, but for one, he's hiding these racks, and another approach could be that he could fly these racks over into the cross position to make for a shorter distance.
Could be that, but I feel like the time he saves in distance might not be made up for the fact how long it takes to actually fly them over. He has supply blocked himself, though, which is pretty terrible for him at this point. He might actually have to make use of that supply call down. He does get another Spidey above building another one now. And I think he just thinks Pandatank is a very, very strong opponent. He was the recent winner of the Polar Fluke tournament. Did very well in the DGL in both legs. So I think he feels maybe he's a little bit outclassed and he's going to go for a kind of more cheesy build, try catch him off guard and eke out a win here with a highly aggressive play.
Yeah, that's true. He's taking out this expansion quite quickly, and Pandatank was really, really smart to push out these stalkers early, as Zealots are actually useless against Marines. And these Marines are going to town on this Nexus. Oh, Pandatank also pushing out the quick observer. Really wants to get...
He does have a lot of Marines on the way, though, and they obviously rally to that tower, but they're not doing anything.
Oh, bunker going down. Bunker going down in front of the natural expansion. Warlord putting a really, really good pressure.
Would have liked to do his bunkers go up a bit sooner. He's got his 4 gateways up now, so he should be able to stop this, actually.
That is
Warlord's
true, but
taking a little bit too long with these reinforcements.
The SCVs were really being harassed by the stalkers, so if you think about it, I don't think Warlord could have helped it.
And he's going to let that bunker finish, which I think is a big mistake.
It's a huge mistake. These Marines are just going to take out that Nexus, no problem. And another group of Marines come in.
Finish as well. He's not sniping the SCV. Oh,
and that bunker got cancelled.
And at the very least, he's going to get this Nexus.
Well, Warlord is just putting on some really, really, really good pressure here. No tech going up on Warlord's side.
He's that Nexus up, but he's not. He's letting the bunker attack whatever he wants. And he's going to come out at a loss here. I think this... Yeah, Pandatank has held this just fine. He's got 4 gateways up. He's got a rover.
And he's going for the counter right now.
25-16. He's got an expansion up, so... Oh, this isn't looking good. I think this could be GG for WarlordZim.
Looking at the units lost tab, Warlord's lost over 38, almost 40 units now, and it's over 2,000 minerals and resources. And while Pandatank has only lost 1,250. Looking at the production tab, really standard. Some, let's say, marine pushing going on here. 5 marines being produced at the moment. And Pandatank throwing out some sentries over there.
Yeah, and I think with his much stronger economy, it's going to be very difficult for Pandatank to lose from here. Warlord has 0 tech. He's actually going to lose right here. He's got actually a much smaller army at this point. Marines are not very good at all against stalkers. Against Protoss, early pushes, you want some marauders because Marines are just quite terrible against stalkers.
Warlord should have invested in a bunker on his ramp at the very least, but I think he knows that this is a bit over, unless he can push out some marauders, but he's not getting any tech labs on his racks.
No, unfortunately he can't afford to at this point. He's got to deal with this attack, but I think it's just going to be too much with the forward pylon and 4 gates in Pandatank's main with 2 base economy. He's just going to keep warping in units until Warlord can't stop it anymore. So this is actually GG. This is over.
This might be game over for Warlord. And Pandatank invested really well in these stalkers. Also micro in front, and it's game over.
GG, yeah. So quite an ineffective cheese there. I feel like the long rush distance really kind of shut that down. He had all the time in the world to prepare for it. He also idled a whole lot of Marines at that tower for quite a long time, and it took a long time to build those bunkers as well, so maybe quite a few mistakes made.
I think if he had built a bunker outside of Pandatank's vision, he could have capitalized on that and then moved forward and steamrolled with those bunkers into the natural expansion.
Yeah, I think he needed to do something a little bit more there. I also think maybe the build order was a little bit off because he kind of pulled one barracks and then one more and then two and then another one, where with that build, as far as I know, you actually build one and then you actually drop four or five barracks basically all at the same time.
Yeah, that's very true.
Right, Marines. You cut SCVs and then you just literally save about 600 minerals and you just drop 4 or 5 barracks. Boom.
No, and the mules help with pushing out those Marines.
Yeah, and you can actually support 6 racks worth of Marines off of one base. You're not going to transition out of it very well, but it is an all-in build. So
yeah,
as
we saw just now, the problem that he had was the fact that he had no gas, and to be honest, he really didn't have time to get any gas because he was pushing out those Marines and spending every single mineral on doing that.
Yeah, I think that was the problem. I think kind of he went for kind of an all-in, but I don't think he committed to it quite enough, really. He had too much money in the bank. He didn't build his barracks fast enough. He didn't rally his Marines fast enough. So it wasn't necessarily a terrible build, but in cross positions and that kind of a rush distance, it isn't going to be great. But yeah, I think a few mistakes made there on his part.
All in all, not a bad game. Saw some decent micro going on there.
Pandatank for defending it so well.
Yeah, Pandatank did really well there. I think Warlord's going to regret going that Marine build against such an experienced player.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think he felt like, well, look, in a long macro game, I'm probably going to get outclassed here. I do play random. This is a very experienced player who focuses on only one race. So I think he felt that he needed to do some kind of cheesy build and catch him off guard. It just didn't work out too well for him.
Yeah, and off guard, he didn't catch him at all.
Yeah, the problem with these builds is if you pull them off, you look like a genius, and if you don't, you look like the worst player in the world. So it's kind of the risk you take.
Well, kudos to Warlord for playing random. He didn't do too badly.
Yeah, and he's done well for his team. That wasn't the first game he's played. He's already racked up a couple of wins already, so I'd say he's done his part.
Yeah, that he has.
The question now is actually who are they going to send in versus Pandatank? Certainly their best player, I'm sure.
Well, I think if we look at the rosters here, we might be seeing that they could send in their captain.
Yeah, well...
Oh no, Economist is out already. Let's just see here, it's checking the roster. So they'll probably be sending Alcardo next. And big
probably,
question.
I guess that. I mean, Pandatank is definitely their strongest player, so they have to kind of look at their roster and say, well, who's our strongest versus Protoss player we have here? That's who we got to send.
They can either do that,